ones that's been there for my whole life. The ones that came later in my life, yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, Harris is about to be up. He's going to give an economic speech, and then we're going to get on with the program, y'all. I hope everybody's doing good today. How y'all feeling? All right? Good.
Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. That. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life, yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it, Leah. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. That. Yes, we going out. We keep it moving like that. Yes, y'all, we going out. We gon' keep moving it just like that. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life, yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without
You ready for the speech? I'm actually ready also. I'm curious what it's going to sound like. I hope your day's going well. It's like what, 3:30, 3 o'clock, something like that? Down there in Texas. Oh, by the way, let me do some shout outs, because I just realized that I'm getting quite a number of viewers from different places on Earth. So let me acknowledge them. New York, something like over 2,000, 3,000 visitors from New York within the last month. Los Angeles, also up there. Chicago, Dallas, Texas, London, Philadelphia, Houston, all those cities are up in the thousands. So I appreciate y'all, most deaf. But then we also got just slightly under a thousand a month is from Toronto. Big up Ontario, Sydney, Australia. Big up Sydney, Australia. Atlanta, Georgia. Seattle, Washington. Phoenix, Arizona. Melbourne, Australia. Austin, Texas. Las Vegas. Denver, Colorado. Copenhagen. Okay, daggone, we down there too in the middle. All right, San Diego, California, San Francisco, California, Charlotte, North Carolina, Boston, Massachusetts. All right, what's up, New England? Sacramento, California, Miami. It's a good number from Miami. Also, yep. Uh, Brisbane, Australia, Queensland, Lagos, Nigeria. What's up, Lagos? San Antonio, Texas, Orlando, Florida, Baltimore, Maryland, Detroit, Michigan, Nashville, Tennessee, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Cincinnati, Ohio, Tampa, Florida, USA, Dublin, Singapore, Raleigh, North Carolina, Washington, D.C. What's up, D.C.? Columbia, Ohio, Pep, Pep Western Australia or Perth Western Australia. Dang, that's another city. Cap, Cap State in South Africa. What's up? Indianapolis, Indiana. Calgary, Alberta. That's Canada. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Both of those spots. Birmingham, Alabama. Portland, Oregon. Jacksonville, Florida. Cleveland, Ohio. Accra, Ghana. Yes, Malaysia and Jamaica. So big up to everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in and supporting the channel. I really appreciate all of y'all so much. Um, as long as you support me, show me a little bit of love, I'm going to give back extra love and try to find new ways to make the journey exciting and to stay authentic with it. You know what I'm saying? My name is V. Bennett. I'm from Washington, D.C., born and raised, but I live in Copenhagen, Denmark. So check out my channel, support the channel, let me know what you want to hear about, and we take it from there. It looks like they're about to get hot soon on the microphone. It's 12:28. Okay, it's 12:28. That's right. It's a couple hours earlier than the East Coast in Texas. Sorry about that. You're right. You're right. So it's still actually on the. It's just the afternoon now. But you got any ideas? So the speech is supposed to be about economics from Kamala Harris, and I think I was saying this month, like a month ago at least. To me, it seemed like the election is going to come down to, well, a few things, multiple things, a handful of things, definitely, and maybe two handfuls if you really are, comprehensive about your look at the USA and its strengths and its issues, right? But a moment ago, I put the economy on top just from listening to a lot of people I talk to, and a lot of people, even the people that say they supporting Trump, even though some of them I don't really even believe because of the way they say it. But hey, they even say the economy. They often mention economy like the economy is the one thing. I got a check from Trump, da da da, this and that. But when you listen to the Democrats, they're saying economy a lot too, but they say it in other ways. Like they say, "Hey, I saved, $2,000 on my health care last year. Thank you, Biden, for signing that bill into practice." Other people saying, "Hey, I got this kind of deduction for this, and thank you," because middle class people, working class people, poor people even need to spare some money. We need some way of surviving, and they've been talking about it that way. Um, I haven't heard people that mention Trump really talk a lot about how he's helped the middle class outside of that one Corona check, which Biden also followed up on too, because it's Corona. I mean, come on, But I would like another check myself. I'm sure a lot of people would, but deductions are just like these checks. Deductions are deep running, you know, and so you might get that cash in your hand from a check real quick, but sometimes you might be surprised where you save at with some of the tax deductions and some of the limits put on healthcare, like they were speaking about it yesterday or 2 days ago, right? Biden and Harris. That was just yesterday. Damn, they really on the move actually. But but in any case, I'm looking forward to hear a little bit more about the economic plan that Kamala Harris has in mind. And also, folks, if you want to also support the shop, you can just by going to this link here up on the screen. That is azonto apparel.online. And if you want to become a member, you can also click that link there, the second link, and become a member and help support the channel. Yeah. So we're going to see what it do. After the speech, I'm going to drop the link so folks can hop up. Um, but until then, I'm going to let this live run until we get a chance to hear some of the speakers, and then I will interject here and there. But yeah, Kamala Harris's campaign is full steam now. Um, she just flipped gears on everybody within a week and is up full steam. And I'm very sure Donald Trump, it appears, had no clue, had no idea. It's just like he's getting mangled right now. Donald Trump is reacting like somebody who's just getting their ass whooped in the in the ring. You know, like he's looking like Rocky and shit. Donald Trump is looking like Rocky when he was getting beat up by Apollo Creed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not quitting, but he ain't looking good. He is not looking good at all. So we're gonna see about that. But look at this. Things look a little. This is not the biggest rally, but I don't know if it's inside or I'm waiting for them to pan. Maybe they will pan, and we get a chance to see how big the audience is. But you know, I will be dropping a link. I would actually like to hear from Trump supporters today. Um, you know, and without any type, as long as it's respectful, no matter who you support, you're willing to, you should feel free to hop up and speak your mind. Yeah, and let people know how you feel respectfully. um yeah, that's what I try to do, and I also like to learn things too. So if you got something you can teach people, we can fact check it, and or put people onto, we can fact check it while we live here. And yeah, so as long as we live, we're gonna do it, we're gonna get into it. um Let me see here. Let me check. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back with you.
We going out, we going out just like that. Yes, we going out.
Please welcome Wake County Board of Commissioners Mayor, Shanika Thomas.
Yes, y'all, we going out. We gonna keep doing it just like that.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Shanika Thomas, and I am proud to serve as the District 6 Wake County Commissioner, and this year I am chair of that board. We are delighted to welcome Vice President Kamala Harris to Raleigh today. She's going to share her vision for a future where every North Carolinian and every American has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. Vice President Harris was raised by a working mom in a middle-class neighborhood. She understands what it's like to walk through the grocery store, doing the math, debating if you've got to put items back on the shelf to afford your bills. She knows that too many struggle with these choices every day, and she's doing something about it. Vice President Harris has spent her entire career fighting to cut costs, take on price gouging, and uplift the middle class. As California's Attorney General, she held pharmaceutical companies accountable for overcharging for prescription drugs and stood up to oil companies to fight high gas prices. As Vice President, she cast the decisive vote. Say that 3 times. The decisive vote, because decisive is important. The decisive vote to pass the Inflation Reduction Act, which capped insulin prices at $35 a month for seniors. Now, the Biden-Harris administration has announced reduced prices for the first 10 drugs negotiated by Medicare, making it easier for seniors to get the care they need at a price they can afford. We need Vice President Harris in the White House to continue to stand up for seniors and families. We can't afford, what we can't afford is another Donald Trump presidency. North Carolina's own Maya Angelou said that when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Donald Trump has shown us that he will pick his billionaire friends and wealthy corporations over working families every single time. Now he's running on a dangerous agenda, the Project 2025 agenda, which would put millions of Americans' health care coverage at risk and raise prices for working families. North Carolinians cannot and will not go back to Donald Trump's failed policies. We must show up to the polls on November 5th to elect Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz. Our community and our country are depending on us. Thank you.
And vote early. It's interesting how Donald Trump doesn't like the voting early for most people, but for himself, he certainly liked it. He went out there, so I wonder who's up next.
Please welcome Attorney General of North Carolina, Josh Stein.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Good afternoon, Raleigh. I am Josh Stein, your Attorney General and the Democratic nominee to be the next governor of North Carolina. It's a pleasure to be here today with Commissioner Shanika Thomas and our great Governor Roy Cooper. And how excited are we to welcome back Madam Vice President. Vice President Harris is here today to shine a bright line on the urgency of lowering costs and making life more affordable for the people of North Carolina. We have so much to be proud of here. Our talented workforce and investments in fastest growing states in the entire country. But our economic success is not being evenly shared. Too many people are struggling to pay rent, buy groceries, and afford medicine. And that's to say nothing of an unexpected auto repair bill or medical expense. So we must make sure that economic opportunity is making its way to every corner of North Carolina. And we must make sure corporations are not taking advantage of our people. Just as Vice President Harris did when she was Attorney General of California, that's exactly what I've done as your North Carolina Attorney General. I have taken pharmaceutical drug manufacturers to court for allegedly fixing the prices of medicines. I have sued to stop meat processors from raising the cost of chicken, turkey, and pork in grocery stores across this country. I have lowered people's power bills to the tune of more than $1 billion.
And people want more.
Fought against a price-fixing scheme that is raising rents on apartments in cities all across North Carolina. And I have held accountable price gougers, whether they were gas stations, towing companies, or building contractors, when they were exploiting people in an emergency. And we have won back more than $1 million for North Carolina consumers. Life is too expensive as it is. So I fought for you as your Attorney General, and that is exactly what I will do as your governor. I'm running for governor because I love our home state, and I believe in its promise that if you work hard, where you come from should never limit how far you can go. To deliver on that promise, we must invest in our people and their futures, to create opportunity and to grow the middle class. That's why I am championing a working families tax cut to put more money back into the pockets of working people, lift children out of poverty, and stimulate local economies. And that's why I will work with Vice President Harris when she becomes President Harris to keep lowering costs, especially for housing and health care. That's why I will focus on workforce development and infrastructure to create good paying jobs here in North Carolina. And that's why we have to steer clear of job killing culture wars. Mark Robinson, my opponent, is bad for people and he is bad for business.
Oh my God. You know who Mark Robinson is?
Workers and business owners know it. Heck,
Mark Robinson is the man who said African Americans shouldn't be asking for reparations. It's them that should be paying reparations. That's the Mark Robinson he's talking about, a person Trump endorsed.
Other states know it, and they will come for our lunch if he is elected governor. We won't let him. He wants to ban abortion in North Carolina for any reason. He wants to gut public schools, and just like Donald Trump, he wants to divide us. We won't let him. He says truly awful things about people and embraces backward policies and conspiracy theories. He denies the 2020 election results. He denies the climate crisis. He denies the Holocaust. Friends, we must deny him the governorship of North Carolina.
And he wants African Americans to be the ones that pay reparations, not get reparations. That's crazy. Mark Robinson is talking about.
But it won't be easy. Elections in North Carolina are always close, but that means we have power. The power to determine who wins and who loses. The power to elect leaders who will build an economy where everyone has a fair shot at success. So we must use our power. Are you all ready to work? Are you all ready to win? Because as the vice president says, when we work and when we win, we will break the supermajority in the General Assembly. We will defeat And when we win, we will defeat Mark Robinson. And when we win, we will elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as president and vice president of the United States. So let's do it. Let's use our power. Let's work and let's win so that together we build an economy that works for all of us. Thank you so much.
Now let me see if I can get this video up before.
Governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper.
Okay, I'm going to play it right after. Yeah, Mark Robinson. He was talking about Mark Robinson, and that's the black man who's the lieutenant governor, who's up for election, who says African Americans should be the ones paying reparations. That's what he said.
I see so many friends out there today. Thank you so much. Thank you for caring about our future. Thank you for caring about the future of North Carolina and our great country. You know, it is great once again to welcome to North Carolina Vice President Kamala Harris. Guys, we've had a lot of practice at this. This is her 16th trip to North Carolina while she has been vice president. Sweet 16. Every time she gets off the plane, she says, "How many, Roy? How many?" I'll give her the running count. Folks, I have been out there on the campaign trail.
16 is a lot.
Talking with voters.
For one state.
That 2008 feeling. We in North Carolina know what that means because that's the last time we voted for a Democratic nominee for president, one Barack Obama. It is time for North Carolina to make history again. Vice President Harris has ignited a firestorm of excitement as we head into the final stretch of this election. And today, she has chosen us, North Carolina, to unveil key highlights of her economic agenda. She is about policy, and we're going to hear about it today. I have known Kamala Harris for a long time. Back when we were both state attorneys general, I watched her fight for families wrecked by illegal home foreclosures. And together, we won the largest consumer finance settlement in the United States history because she was tough and focused on the hard-working Americans who needed her. And today, she's still tough. And today, she's still focused on the people who need her. And it's great that unemployment is going down and inflation is cooling, but we know this, that too many middle-class families need help with childcare. They need help with affordable housing, and they are still struggling with the cost of living, especially at the grocery store.
Got to keep the momentum going.
And often,
another 4 years, put Kamala in.
Corporations are jacking up the prices just to juice their own profits and boost their own payouts. Well, Kamala Harris, She is not having it. She is attacking the problem like she always does, laying out the plan to stop food price gouging that hurts working people. You know, in North Carolina, when I was Attorney General and the next governor of North Carolina, a current Attorney General now, Josh Stein, we went after bad actors who charged consumers too much in the wake of disasters like hurricanes and flooding. And it worked as a real deterrent to reduce price gouging significantly. President Harris's plan can work the same way in the grocery store. So in this election, let's think about the contrast here. On one side, a smart, tough former prosecutor who's focusing on her efforts to put more money in people's pockets. And on the other side, we have Donald Trump, who wants to fill the pockets of billionaires and special interests. That is the difference that we have here. Did you guys know that Donald Trump was the first president since Herbert Hoover to leave office with fewer jobs than when he started? 3 million fewer, in fact. His plans that he's laid out, little that they are, but the ones that you see, would raise the prices of household goods, including groceries, and the cost to the average American family would increase $2,500 a year. And his famous Project 2025 would give millions away in tax giveaways to his billionaire friends. And you know, he came to Asheville on Wednesday night. And you know what he said? He said, "I'm not sure the economy is the most important issue after all." He actually said that. And then what he continued to do was hurl personal insults at the vice president. It is clear that Donald Trump doesn't work for working families. That's for sure. We are at a great community college. We know that we must invest in education from cradle to career. So when you're in a school, you got to get homework. So for the next 81 days, folks, we have to be on the doors, on the phones, on social media, and on top of our game to stop Donald Trump's dark vision of America and make sure Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States.
Facts. Facts.
She can lead this great country, and I am so grateful she is here. Thank you, Raleigh. Let's get to work.
Let's go, Raleigh, North Carolina. Excuse me. Let's go, North Carolina. As a fact, some folks from Raleigh, like 500 people from Raleigh, North Carolina, have been here in the last month. Yo, big up to Raleigh. Thanks for the support. Actually, from Texas, from where you from, Andrea, too. 500, at least 500 a month. Yeah, I don't always look at statistics, but those are the mid-level statistics. Those aren't the ones in the thousands a month. But the mid-level ones is just under 1,000, around to 500 a month. Yeah, so Raleigh's been in the house actually this month for real. Yo, I'm going to drop the link in a little bit. Right after Kamala's speech, I'm going to show you the lieutenant governor, who's a Republican of this state, who is a weird MAGA dude, but he said himself that he believes African Americans should not get reparations. If anything, they should be the ones paying it. Yes. And this man was endorsed by Donald Trump. Yes, his name is Mark Robinson. He's the lieutenant governor for North Carolina. I forget what the district they call that, but check into it. In any case, right after Kamala speaks, I'm going to play it. In fact, I could even throw it up now because it's only 2 seconds. Here we go. Let me throw it up right now. Here it is. Peep it, y'all.
There are some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, who owes? Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you.
That's when I smacked the shit out you. I smacked the shit out.
That's why people said that's why the black people like me, because they have been.
That was him. That was him, y'all. That was Mark Robinson. He's a Republican lieutenant governor from North Carolina. Donald Trump supported him. So if you support a scumbag like that that would dare utter those words out of his mouth, you must be suffering from some serious menticide, essentially. There is no way we can be having Sambo, Uncle Ruckus, black men as lieutenant governors or any public seat that are opposed to African Americans getting reparations. And not only that, he's saying that we should be paying it ourselves. He's twisted. So I can't understand why some of you all will support that shit, but then when it comes to Kamala Harris, you got some sort of issue. You want to go at her with a microscope. Well, what about you? What about your life? How's your life doing? What's your dirt all about? You know what I mean? Should somebody examine you? I mean, yo, folks that are sitting around checking into Kamala Harris instead of just looking at her record and treating her like the human being you would want to be treated like, wouldn't you want someone to walk up to you and talk to you before they just repeat lies and just shit over and over and over? Wouldn't you want that yourself? You probably would. And you probably get that from a lot of people anyway, because most people are not sticking microscopes up people's butts trying to figure out what's going on before they listen to the words that they're saying. You probably take advantage of the people that treat you fairly. So the least you could do is treat Kamala Harris fairly because you don't know her personally. Go to a rally, talk to her, but at the very least, listen to what she's saying. Don't use some idea that you got about her from 20 years ago or from her birth record as a reason to not hear anything. That's just flat out wrong. So yeah. And I'm just speaking to some of the shit that I hear over the internet. It could be trolls, it could be Russian accounts, it could be the few deceived as well. The few that have fallen for the okie doke, the 10-15%, maybe 20%, or if you want to talk about just the USA, it could be higher, it could be 30%, but you know, you got to hold yourself to the facts. Um, it's it's the cause, it's not the individual. So, it's obvious not the individual because if you could support Trump, he's a nasty, horrific individual. So it obviously should be about the cause, about the platform, what they want to do. And Trump don't even have that. So at least you could give a woman a chance this time around, since the U.S. hasn't found it possible to do that in its history, you know. Um, yeah, be a part of the history and do something different. Or you could vote for an old rotten fart like Trump, who will curse you out, your mother, say you ain't shit, and then try to make it all good by giving you a $10 tip. You know, I mean, yeah. So I think I said enough for now. But in any case, yo, hit the like button. Those of you that come and see the stream, the replay, hit the like button then, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what other type of news you want to hear about. If it's more entertainment news, or if it's political news, or if it's geopolitical news, let me know what you're feeling. 2 seconds. Let me turn the music up a little bit. They obviously on a little break, so I guess it might be Kamala's turn coming up. So let me throw a little background music on, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life. Yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it, clear. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life. Yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it, clear. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. Yes, we going out. We keep it moving like that. Yes, y'all, we going out. We gon' keep moving it just like that. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life. Yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't do this joint without Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. Yes, we going out. We keep it moving like that. Yes, y'all, we going out. We gonna keep moving it just like that. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life. Yeah. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it. Yeah. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that.
Hey, Pumpkin, what's up? Yeah, we just waiting for Kamala to come on out.
We keep it moving like that.
Oh, they're making some noise? Shit, they not slower than Elon Musk's internet. That's for damn sure. They not as slow as Elon Musk's internet. That is for sure. I'll take this type of slow any day. Yeah, once Kamala has spoken, feel free to hop up on the panel and let everybody know your thoughts. You don't have to stay in the chat. You can actually hop up and speak. Let people know where you're from and how you feel about the election cycle so far. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you're from, but if you have some really deep feelings, it would be good if we could get some American citizens on that. But everybody else is welcome, even if you're not an American citizen. Just let me know, because a lot of times you will be having a visit from the American president or U.S. president, excuse me, or one of the diplomats from the U.S. So, the world is not big anymore; it's small. There's no west to be won anymore on Earth. It's only space now. So, yeah. So we're closer together than we've ever been at this moment in human existence. So, I won't just cut out everybody. There's different perspective that's worth hearing from different people. So, yeah. So I'll be the last to cut anybody out for one thing or another. But you feel free to hop up on the panel. I know a few people are, but to those of you that haven't been here before and you've never hopped up on the panel, feel free. You're also welcome. You see my hat, Punk? This is my new hat, y'all. It's camouflage. It's camo. like blue, dark gray camo. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, it's got my art on the front, some black and gold lettering. Um, yeah, and you can, cop some gear if you into this kind of stuff, which I'm sure you are. You can cop some gear here. Let me throw the link up in the chat for everybody. I think it's in the chat, but let me throw it up one more time here. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah, so feel free to copy one of a cap from Azanto Apparel, or you know what I'm saying. You can get this one. You can get a t-shirt. You can get whatever you want. Let me know if you can hit me a message. A discount code for newcomers. Appreciate it. All right, 2 seconds. I'll be right back, y'all. We winding up for Kamala, so we see how it go.
This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life. I appreciate all the blessings God has given me, and I want to repay it to you like this. Clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it. Leah. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. This is kind of like a prayer going out to all the peeps close to me and dear to me, the ones that's been there for my whole life, the ones that came later in my life.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Kamala. And I wonder if Tim Walsh is also going to be here. I'm curious about that.
Everybody clap your hands. Introducing. This is the joint where we give shout outs to all the peeps, you know what I'm saying? You know we couldn't do this joint without spreading some love to the ones. Yo, check it. Leah. If I just ruled the world, I would give y'all everything. Yes, we going out. We going out just like that. Yeah. We going out. We going out just like that.
She lives in my land. She lives in my land. Oh, she lives in my land. She lives in my land. We're waiting for Kamala Harris. And yet so far. So come inside. You know, they take time. Well, we're going to find out. It's interesting, Pumpkin. Things worth knowing. That's a good question. Yeah. So we it looks like they're running a little behind schedule. Oh, here we go.
Mike D's Barbecue Smokehouse.
That's it. How's everybody doing? It's great to see all these people all these people who are here to hear me talk. So I appreciate that. That's all right. So my name is Mike De Los Santos, the owner of Mike D's Barbecue, a small community restaurant and barbecue shop in East Durham. I'm a husband, a proud father, and I'm here today to talk about what's at stake for our families and our communities in this upcoming election, and what is possible if we elect Vice President Kamala Harris. As parents, we're always thinking about the future, and we want a world where our children can thrive. Raising a family is hard work, and working hard is hard work. Doing both can feel impossible, and we need leaders that understand that, and that's why electing Kamala Harris is so important. Vice President Harris is standing up for families and fighting to lower costs, just like she has done her entire career. She sees what folks are going through, like the families in my community who are struggling to pay bills, stretching a budget to afford groceries, scrambling to afford medication to live. Access to affordable health care is personal to my family. In 2012, our son Aaron passed away after bravely battling hypoplastic left heart syndrome.
Mm.
That's why it means so much to me that the Vice President is working to make sure everyone can get access to the care they need. No matter what their income is. She's working to lower prescription drug costs, which make a huge difference for people across this country and North Carolina. At Mike D's, we're all about community. From our customers to the folks on staff who came in early today so I could be here, come by at 4 o'clock for dinner. But as housing costs rise, it's getting harder and harder for our community to thrive. And though I love what I do, it's hard to build a business and work hard in a city that sometimes you can't even afford to live in yourself, especially when you're working hard to make sure that your employees make a living wage. I've seen how important it is to have leaders who are fighting for people like us. And I've seen the damage that occurs when leaders put their own interests ahead of our families. Amid the grief of losing our child, we opened Mike D's in 2013 as a barbecue sauce company. During the pandemic, we had to pivot as things shut down, and we've expanded to the restaurant that we are in now. We saw the way that Trump left small business owners behind. We know that he'll only work to make the rich richer, even at our expense, if given another chance. On the other hand, Vice President Harris has made it a priority to help small business access the capital they need to get started and to grow. It's very important. I'm here today because we have a choice for ourselves and our children, for businesses and the communities we invest in. Vice President Harris will always fight for working families like mine. We can and will elect Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz. It is my honor to introduce the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Please have a seat if you have a seat. Please have a seat. Mike D, so Mike D's Barbecue. Let me tell you one of the biggest fans of Mike D's Barbecue. My husband, Doug Emhoff. and thank you, Mike, for sharing your story. And I'm just so sorry for what your family has been through, but you have, out of an incredible tragedy, done so much for the community, and you are such a role model. So thank you, Mike, for everything you do. Thank you. And good afternoon to everyone here. Thank you to all of the incredible leaders with us today, including my friend, the Governor, Roy Cooper. Where is he? Here with his daughter. Every time I land in North Carolina, I'm just literally coming down the stairs of Air Force Two.
It's great to see a woman running for president.
What number is it, Roy? And today he shouted 16, which is the number of times I've been in this beautiful state since I've been vice president. Every time. I want to thank your next governor, Attorney General Josh Stein. He's doing incredible work. He's going to be an extraordinary governor. Representatives Adam, Manning, Foushee, and Nickel, thank you all for your support, for your friendship, for your leadership. Chair Thomas of the Wake County Board of Commissioners, thank you for all that you do. And to all the leaders that are here today, including the students and instructors here at Wake Tech North. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. So listen, this election, I do strongly believe, is about two very different visions for our nation. One, ours, focused on the future, and the other, focused on the past. We see that contrast clearly in many ways, including when it comes to how we think about the economy. So, our country has come a long way since President Biden and I took office. At that time, we sadly remember the millions of Americans that were out of work. We were facing one of the worst economic crises in modern history. And today, by virtually every measure, our economy is the strongest in the world.
It
We
definitely
have
is.
created 16 million in clean energy. And new
But
numbers
the
this week
corrupt
alone show
want to
that
keep and
inflation is
hoard the
down
wealth.
under 3%. And as President of the United States, it will be my intention to build on the foundation of this progress. Still, we know that many Americans don't yet feel that progress in their daily lives. Costs are still too high. And on a deeper level, for too many people, no matter how much they work, it feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy. An opportunity economy.
Mhm.
An economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Everyone, regardless of who they are or where they start, has an opportunity to build wealth for themselves and their children. And where we remove the barriers to opportunity so anyone who wants to start a business or advance their career can access the tools and the resources that are necessary to do so.
And it can be done.
I will focus on cutting needless bureaucracy and unnecessary regulatory red tape and encouraging innovative technologies while protecting consumers and creating a stable business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. As president, I will bring together labor with small businesses and major companies to invest in America, to create good jobs, achieve broad-based growth, and ensure that America continues to define the future and lead the world. And key to creating this opportunity economy is building up our middle class. It is essential. The middle class is one of America's greatest strengths. And to protect it, then, we must defend basic principles, such as your salary should be enough to provide you and your family with a good quality of life.
Facts.
Such as no child should have to grow up in poverty. Such as after years of hard work, you should be able to retire with dignity.
Yep. Facts.
And you should be able to join a union if you choose. Building up the
The
middle
richest
class will
economy.
be a defining goal of my presidency because I strongly believe when the middle class is strong, America is strong.
Mm. Yep.
So, in the weeks to come, I will address in greater detail my plans to build an opportunity economy. And today, I will focus on one element that's on the minds of many Americans as they pay their bills at the kitchen table or walk the aisles of a grocery store. And that is lowering the cost of living.
Yes.
So every
Yes.
day across our nation, families talk about their plans for the future, their ambitions, their aspirations for themselves, for their children. And they talk about how they're going to be able to actually achieve them financially. Because look, the bills add up: food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication. After all that, for many families, there's not much left at the end of the month.
Hmm.
I grew up in a middle class household. For most of my childhood, we were renters. My mother saved for well over a decade to buy a home. I was a teenager when that day finally came, and I can remember so well how excited she was. I kind of understood what it meant, but we called her Mommy. Mommy was so excited, it just made us excited that she was so excited. Later in college, I worked at McDonald's to earn spending money. Well, some of the people I worked with were raising families on that paycheck. They worked second or even third jobs to pay rent and buy food. That only gets harder when the cost of living goes up. When I am elected president, I will make it a top priority to bring down costs and increase economic security for all Americans. As president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when the supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved, and prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%. Many of the big food companies are seeing their highest profits in 2 decades. And while many grocery chains pass along these savings, others still aren't. Look, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules. But some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that is the case. As Attorney General in California, I went after companies that illegally increased prices, including wholesalers that inflated the price of prescription medication, and companies that conspired with competitors to keep prices of electronics high. I won more than $1 billion for consumers.
I'm gonna have to check into that.
So believe me, as president, I will go after the bad actors. And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food. My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules. And we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead. We will help the food industry become more competitive because I believe competition is the lifeblood of our economy. More competition means lower prices for you and your families. Now compare what Donald Trump plans to do. He wants to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax on everyday products and basic necessities that we import from other countries. That will devastate Americans. It will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothing, a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. And you know, economists have done the math. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. At this moment, when everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher. As president, I'll take on the issue of the cost of health care. As Attorney General, I took on insurance companies and Big Pharma and got them to lower their prices. And together with President Biden, we've gone even further. We capped the price of insulin at $35 a month, and the total cost.
That's something. That.
And the total cost of prescription drugs at $2,000 a year for seniors. We let Medicare negotiate lower drug prices for seniors. And just yesterday, we announced that we are lowering the price by up to 80% for 10 more life-saving drugs. And I pledge to continue this progress. I'll lower the cost of insulin and prescription drugs for everyone with your support, not only our seniors. And demand transparency from the middlemen who operate between Big Pharma and the insurance companies who use opaque practices to raise your drug prices and profit off your need for medicine. 2 months ago, I announced that medical debt will no longer be used against your credit score. And I will work as president with states like here in North Carolina, Roy Cooper, thank you again, to cancel medical debt for more and more, millions more Americans. As for Donald Trump, well, he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which 45 million Americans rely on. 45 million Americans rely on it for health care. That would take us back to a time when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. We all remember what that was. And we're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. And remember, and this is why we're not going back, because we do remember, he tried to cut Medicare every year he was president, threatening a program that tens of millions of seniors count on. And according to his Project 2025 agenda, he intends to undo our work to bring down prescription drugs, the cost of prescription drugs, and insulin costs. Well, we've come too far to let that happen. So we're not going back on that. And let's talk about the cost of housing. So now the housing market can be complicated, but look, I'm not new to this issue. As State Attorney General, I drafted and helped pass a homeowner bill of rights, one of the first in America. And during the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big banks for predatory lending with many of my colleagues, including Roy Cooper, and won $20 billion for California families when I was Attorney General. So I know how to fight for people who are being exploited in the housing market. And I know what home ownership means. It's more than a financial transaction. It's so much more than that. It's more than a house. Home ownership and what that means, it's a symbol of the pride that comes with hard work. It's financial security. It represents what you will be able to do for your children. And sadly, right now, it is out of reach for far too many American families. There's a serious housing shortage. In many places, it's too difficult to build, and it's driving prices up. As president, I will work in partnership with industry to build the housing we need, both to rent and tape, including at the state and local levels. And by the end of my first term, we will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. And we will do that together. We will do that together. And we will make sure those homes actually go to working and middle class Americans, not just investors. Because some corporate landlords, some of them buy dozens, if not hundreds of houses and apartments. Then they turn them around and rent them out at extremely high prices. And it can make it impossible then for regular people to be able to buy or even rent a home. Some corporate landlords collude with each other to set artificially high rental prices, often using algorithms in price-fixing software to do it. It's anti-competitive and it drives up costs. I will fight for a law that cracks down on these practices. We also know that as the price of housing has gone up, the size of down payments have gone up as well. Even if aspiring homeowners save for years, it often still is not enough. So in addition, while we work on the housing shortage, my administration will provide first-time home buyers with $25,000 to help with the down payment on a new home. All to help more Americans experience the pride of home ownership and the financial security that it represents and brings. So that's my plan. But here's what Donald Trump would do. If his Project 2025 agenda is put into effect, it will add around $1,200 a year to the typical American mortgage. He's got it backward. We should be doing everything we can to make it more affordable to buy a home, not less. Finally, there's one more way I will help families deal with rising costs, and that's by letting you keep more of your hard-earned money. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut, and we will do this by restoring 2 tax cuts designed to help middle class and working Americans. The Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. Through which millions of Americans with children got to keep more of their hard-earned income. We know this works and has a direct impact on so many issues, including child poverty. We know it works. So as president, I'll not only restore that tax cut, but expand it. We will provide $6,000 in tax relief to families during the first year of a child's life. Now think what that means. Think what that means. That is a vital year of critical development of a child.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the cost can really add up, especially for young parents who need to buy diapers and clothes and a car seat and so much else. And we will do this while reducing the deficit. Compare my plan with what Donald Trump intends to do. He plans to give billionaires massive tax cuts year after year. And he plans to cut corporate taxes by over $1 trillion, even as they pull in record profits. And that's on top of the $2 trillion tax cut he already signed into law when he was president, which, by the way, overwhelmingly went to the wealthiest Americans and corporations and exploded the national deficit. You know, I think that if you want to know who someone cares about, look who they fight for. Look who they fight for.
Facts.
Donald Trump fights for billionaires and large corporations. I will fight to give money back to working and middle-class Americans. So I'll end with this. 2 days ago, Donald Trump was here in North Carolina. He said he was going to talk about the economy. I think you all watched. You know what I'm about to say. But he offered no serious plans to reduce costs for middle-class families. No plan to expand access to housing or health care. And that, actually, I think for most of us, was not surprising. Because we already know his plans. We know the Project 2025 agenda. So there's a choice in this election. Donald Trump's plans to devastate the middle class, punish working people, and make the cost of living go up for millions of Americans. And on the other hand, when I'm elected president, what we will do to bring down costs, increase the security and stability financially of your family, and expand opportunity for working and middle class Americans.
He's on fire.
So now is the time to chart a new way forward. Now is the time to chart a new way forward, to build a new way forward. Yes, a new way forward. To
to build an America where everyone's work is rewarded and talents are valued, where we work with labor and business to strengthen the American economy, and where everyone has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. So I thank you, North Carolina. We're going to get this done. And with your help, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. God bless you.
That was ill. That was a nice speech. I mean, that's a better speech than Trump can give. And that's facts. You know, Trump gives the worst speeches of any president easily, right? And wow, you can see how popular she is. I wonder how many people were in this venue, how big the venue was. But in any case, that was an excellent speech and very informative and comprehensive. Um, not, she didn't walk in the door and curse anybody out. She didn't insult anybody, right? And you have two clear options: go with the person that insults everyone, who's a lunatic, or go with the most qualified person at the moment, and that is Kamala Harris. But by the way, I looked up some of the things she was saying, and as you can see, I put some of it in the chat. She has a record on these things. People should not get stuck on one thing or another because she has a big portfolio of initiatives, rulings, bills that she's written that have been adopted, things like that, even before she became vice president. So, and it is facts, like she said, it's over those things like housing, corrupt real estate persons, landlord, corrupt housing practices, these kind of things. She's got a history in that. It's not her history is not like one dimensional. She's definitely been doing a lot for people. So if you don't know her record, look it up. Don't rely on people on the internet to give it to you. Even myself, but I looked it up. Like I'll share one thing with you. Let me see. And you could look it up yourself if you don't like it or if you think it's not valid. You can, find some other facts. But here's like one fact I think that I looked up. Here, let me see here. Let me see.
The California Homeowner Bill of Rights, HBOR, is a significant piece of legislation that was championed by Kamala Harris during her tenure as Attorney General of California. It was enacted in 2012 as a response to the widespread foreclosure crisis that followed the 2008 financial collapse. The law aimed to provide protections to homeowners and prevent unfair and predatory practices by mortgage lenders and servicers. Key features of the California Homeowner Bill of Rights. 1. Dual tracking ban. Issue. Dual tracking occurs when a mortgage servicer continues to pursue foreclosure proceedings while simultaneously negotiating a loan modification with the homeowner. The HBOR prohibited dual tracking, ensuring that mortgage servicers could not move forward with foreclosure while a homeowner's loan modification application was under review. 2. Issue. Homeowners often struggled with inconsistent communication from lenders, being bounced between different representatives. Provision. The HBOR required mortgage servicers to provide homeowners with a single point of contact throughout the loan modification process. This representative would handle all matters related to their account, reducing confusion and miscommunication. 3. Robo-signing prevention. Issue. Robo-signing refers to the practice of mortgage servicers signing foreclosure documents without properly verifying their accuracy. Provision. The HBOR imposed stricter requirements on the documentation process, ensuring that all foreclosure documents were properly reviewed and verified before being processed. 4. Enforcement mechanisms. Issue. Prior to the HBOR, homeowners had limited recourse against wrongful foreclosures. Provision. The HBOR provided homeowners with the right to sue mortgage servicers for significant violations of the law. This gave homeowners more power to defend themselves against improper foreclosure actions. 5. Tenant protections. Issue. Tenants living in homes that were foreclosed upon often faced eviction with little notice. Provision. The HBOR extended protections to tenants, requiring new owners of foreclosed properties to honor existing leases or provide adequate notice before eviction. Kamala Harris's role. As Attorney General, Kamala Harris played a pivotal role in the creation and passage of the California Homeowner Bill of Rights. After negotiating the national mortgage settlement in 2012, Harris pushed for additional protections specific to California homeowners. Recognizing the limitations of the federal settlement, she advocated for state-level legislation to provide stronger and more specific safeguards for homeowners at risk of foreclosure. Impact. The California Homeowner Bill of Rights was seen as a landmark piece of legislation that set a precedent for other states in protecting homeowners during the foreclosure process. It helped curb some of the most abusive practices by mortgage servicers and provided homeowners with more tools to defend their homes. The law is credited with helping to stabilize the housing market in California during a critical period. Kamala Harris's involvement in the creation and implementation of the HBOR is often highlighted as one of her significant achievements as Attorney General, reflecting her commitment to consumer protection and her willingness to take on powerful financial institutions.
Hey, Pumpkin, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good.
You
Yeah, I
good?
told you. Her plan is good. I have been hearing it. I told you that they got this thing. I think that's already passed. I think Biden got that through where they can't use your medical bills against you for credit and stuff
Oh,
like
you think it
that.
already went through? It's been
I think I might,
okay.
because I've heard it before. This ain't the first time I've been hearing it for a while. So I don't know. And I went to get some pills, 10
I
pills. They
can
want
look
to
that
charge
up, by the way.
they want to charge me $100 for 10 pills. I said, you got to be crazy. That's $10 a pill for something I only got to take one time. Once they're done, that's it. So they said, well, that's what the insurance company's going to. I said, I don't want it. So I was going to leave, and they told me, oh, we can give them to you. We can give you the 20 pills for $30. Because you got to be up on it. Because they knew they could have discounted. I wasn't paying no $100 for no damn 20 pills. What the hell is wrong with them? And it's not medicine that I have to take every for the rest of my life or something like that. So she got a lot of good stuff. The only thing now is vote her in, but also they need to vote straight Democrat for the House and the Senate and get Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Jim Jordan.
Yeah, you have to get a majority to pass it. You got to get enough votes to
Yeah,
pass
you
the
gotta
legislation
get enough
for the
people that
president to
feel the
sign.
same way.
Yeah, it needs
Get
to
rid of
become
Mitch
law so the
McConnell.
lawmakers. Yeah.
Mitch McConnell needs to go sit his old butt down. He
You will soon.
they need to get rid of him. They need to get rid of all of them Trump people. All
That
of them
guy's
need to go.
terrible. He destroyed the party, man. He destroyed the Republican Party. Mitch
He
McConnell.
sure did. Because there were when I was growing up, there were some good Republicans. But I don't know what happened to, and there's
Crazy.
still some good ones, but they got to get rid of these.
They have to get rid of them.
They have to get rid
completely.
of those MAGA.
They got no place in America. These MAGA people.
Do you think this is the end of the MAGA movement, like the Tea Party movement?
I think politically it's over. Politically, now what's going to happen to all these types that tend to go for movements like that? I mean, they'll probably go back down underground and then re-emerge as something else, but the politics is probably going to be destroyed, I think.
Yeah, nobody's falling for it.
Yeah, it played its
Nobody's
hand out, I
fooled.
think. The only thing it does is it reinvigorates the left. That's what MAGA does. MAGA reinvigorates the center and the left to make moves and reduce that kind of stuff. And that's basically what they did. I mean, but you got to keep in mind that this was, Trump had a lot of help. Trump had a lot of help, and the wrong kind of help, you could say, right? So to even become president, I mean, think about all of the disinformation, Russian propaganda that was put out on Hillary Clinton, right? And it's the same. That's just become the new norm. Disinformation in social media has become the new norm. And it became that way over the last since 2016, slowly, right around Hillary Clinton, and now it's just taken over. The websites, Facebook, um, I don't know, even YouTube, all of these places, I think they have a hard time contending with the disinformation because of the freedom of speech laws, freedom of expression, and so that in one way they could stop it, like Russia or China blocks media. They're worse with their media, right? But the whole idea of the U.S. is to have free and fair and open media. So some of this stuff it exists on its own, But yeah, I think the
Yeah.
political norm has worn itself out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the 50s they had, if you look this up, Joseph McCarthy. He said there were card carrying communists in the
Who?
American government.
Joseph.
Joseph McCarthy. He was from Wisconsin. He was the same way. He played himself out. I mean, people got tired of it. Robert Kennedy Sr. was one of his was one of the people that was with him, and what's his name? The one that Roy Cohen was one of the lawyers that pushed it, who is the one who mentored Trump. Look it up. Joseph McCarthy, 1950 Senate hearings, the House on Un-American Activities or something like that. It happens every so often. Every so often it happens. That's how the Democrats got in the 60s and stayed up until like what, the 70s or 80s. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen again. I think Trump has ruined the party. Democrats will be in for a long time after this. Yeah. So look that up.
I
And
think that's basically what's going to happen, because of, like you said, because of MAGA, they've really woken up the center and the left. And now the center and the left is about to take care of things, in terms of legislating, peace, essentially, and also prosperity, peace and prosperity,
yeah.
legislating it, because there's no Republican Party anymore. They're just lunatics. That's sad to say. Sad to say.
Nah, it's the truth.
It is what it is.
They horrible. These Republicans are horrible.
Yo, check this out. Yeah, oh, they're totally horrible. Let me ask you a question. Uh, have you seen? I put out a couple of videos today. Let me know what you think. Here, I'm gonna play a couple of them. Let me see. They're short.
I saw this one. I saw that.
Joe Biden.
It is truly a love fest. The Harris campaign also going on offense with a new ad blitz, spending $90 million in battleground states. But here's the thing. The wild contrast in mood and momentum between two campaigns. The pictures tell the story. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden holding a raucous campaign event with a fired up crowd. Hours later, Donald Trump holding a solo press conference amid criticism from his own allies that he's sputtering and flailing on the campaign trail.
Donald Trump fielded questions this morning from reporters as Kamala Harris continues to shy away from any interactions with the press. Let's go to Annalise Nielsen, our Washington correspondent. She joins us live. Annalise, Donald Trump responded to some criticism from the Harris campaign.
I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called JD and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale.
And today we take the next step. Thank you, Joe. Forward in our fight.
Did you think that was funny?
What, him?
That
What he
that
said?
little clip. Did you think that clip was funny?
Yeah, it was funny of him acting stupid. Acting stupid. I was laughing. She rattles it. She rattles
He can't
it.
help it. He can't help it. He's
She
out there.
rattles his nerves.
Look, they think
And he
these people.
can't do anything about it but take it.
Hey, do you think he's going to end up in the insane asylum,
Huh?
psychiatric ward? You think he's going to end up in the psychiatric ward, Donald Trump?
Probably so.
Because he's having some real outbursts. Okay, check this out. This is a new one also. Let's see here.
We all love food, but cooking with a blunt knife? That's no fun.
All right.
Start with the Democratic side. First of all, what a successful barnstorming tour here for Vice President Harris and her new running mate, hitting battleground state after battleground state, drawing these huge crowds, sharpening their message. And yes, in Arizona, that's important. The Vice President saying, look, I was a border state senator. I can talk about immigration. And here, this is a deal that was on the table, authored by one of the most conservative Republicans in the Senate, Langford of Oklahoma, and Donald Trump killed it for political gain. The Republicans are freaking out because Trump can't stay focused. We had that unhinged news conference last week. We had these fundraisers where he's giving private remarks, talking about crowd size, doubling down on his attacks about the vice president's identity, and then culminating in that Truth Social post, which I have Truth Social, I'm sorry to say, and I triple checked it to make sure it was a real post on his site, and it was real. And George, we now know that at this point, Donald Trump is so rattled about crowd sizes, he's taking up conspiracy theories from the fever swamps of the right, elevating it, maybe even believing it. It just reeks of desperation.
Yeah, as I've been yammering about for 5 or 6 years now, he's a deeply unwell man. He is a deeply psychologically disturbed individual. If he were a member of your family, you'd be staging an intervention and taking him in to a psychiatric hospital. And if Melania and Ivanka and Eric and Don Jr. care about their father, and I assume their father and husband, I assume they do, they would be doing that if they could. He is, as I've been saying, a narcissistic sociopath, a pathological narcissist, and a sociopath as defined by the American Psychiatric Association. And these are, historians will tell you, the traits of authoritarian dictators throughout history. And what we're seeing now is, as you put it, an implosion. And this, I believe, is what ultimately was always going to happen, the final implosion of Donald Trump. I mean, it's like Hitler, when Hitler was moving around divisions that didn't exist in the last 10 days of the war in the Führer bunker. I mean, he has completely lost it. This post is beyond question, delusional. Anybody, I mean, but it was also inevitable, because what's happening here is he realizes he's gotten under more pressure than ever, because he's not just running for the presidency, he's running for his freedom. He's going to go to jail if he does not win the presidency, and he can see that now.
That is the reporting. Republicans absolutely horrified at a time where they need him to act rationally, at a time they need him to push back hard against Kamala Harris. He's going in the direction that they believe is the most destructive. And you can go back, as the New York Times neatly summarized, the past week and a half it's been terrible for him, where first he questioned whether Kamala Harris was black or not. Laughable for a woman who was in a historically black sorority at Howard University.
Yeah. And if only they had been warned. And by the way, as we're watching this, decomposition meltdown by Donald Trump, Notice that not a single prominent Republican is looking at this and saying, hey, let's get off this train. This is deeply wrong. Let's go in a different direction or change my vote. They're completely locked in. I also agree with you that what's really rattling Donald Trump is that this has become a cultural phenomenon and not simply a political phenomenon. But I want to go back to what George was saying. Yes, it is sad, and we can make fun of it. It is alarming, but it's also profoundly dangerous what is going on, because you look at that insane tweet, and it's not just that he's going down this rabbit hole of fever swamp conspiracy theories. He's using this as a way of saying that the Democrats are cheating, that Kamala Harris should be disqualified. Look, put this in the larger context of what's happening. This is pre-election denialism by Donald Trump. It's no mystery. Donald Trump is never going to graciously concede defeat in this election. He is already laying the groundwork for what's going to happen after November. And I think this is going to be an extraordinarily dangerous period. He has election deniers in key states. His base is psychologically not prepared for him to lose. And as George mentioned, this is a desperate man. Donald Trump will not simply lose the election. Donald Trump knows that if he is not elected president, he may be going to jail. He will do and say anything. And you see in that tweet, not merely the fact that he is rattled and losing it, but that he's already coming up with his lines for why he can deny the results of the election, how Kamala Harris's nomination is unconstitutional, how this is being stolen, all of that in advance. So no one should be surprised or think that this fever is going to break on November 5th, because whatever happens, we are about to head into a very dangerous period in American politics, led by Donald Trump and obviously assisted by Republicans who simply have decided that they're not going to draw the line.
Yeah, Andrea, how you doing?
Start with the Democrats. For what a success.
Okay, you there? Yeah. So what's up? What you think about Kamala Harris's economic stance?
Yeah, most people in their right mind, if they think about their situation, who are struggling, and they think about their situation, this should be a no-brainer, right? It just shouldn't.
Should be.
But if you don't care about yourself, then you're gonna vote for the other person, right? If you want to continue down this path of, we don't have enough, I'm not making enough money, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, then hey, you got that guy. But if you really want this country to turn around and be for the people, by the people, of the people, and all that, if you want that, then you have to, you're almost like, you have to say, I have to vote for these other, Kamala and Tim Walz.
Hey, and guess what?
It's a no-brainer.
And even if you don't vote, you're still going to pay those taxes. So
exactly.
Why would you pay taxes and not vote?
Yeah. And why we want to continue to pay taxes on people on these other welfare recipients, these billionaire socialist welfare recipients? Why would we want to continue to pay for them to have more money in their coffer than you having money in yours? That to me made no sense when they voted him in the first time. Why would you want to do that? He already says what he's going to do. He's going to gut that government as much as possible to put money in his pocket and the pocket of his so-called friends that we, the people, are going to have to pay for again. We've already done it once. We did it. Every time one of them comes in office, the country suffers behind all of this, them thinking that they are not welfare recipients. They are exactly what they call people entitlement, or you're entitled. You have these. No, you all are the ones who, I call them government gangsters, Wall Street whores, and pimp preachers. Those three groups of people are the cause of our country being in the condition that it's in. The government gangsters, Wall Street whores, and pimp preachers. They're the ones who are trying to figure out a way, always trying to get into people's pockets to make their pockets fatter. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to stop and not realize that socialism is in effect for the rich. They are trying to do everything they can to make sure they have as much money as possible at the expense of everybody else, and forget about the people at the bottom of the rung of the ladder. We are the ones who are constantly bracing their fall. Every time something big happens in this country, it's the people below them that have to brace that fall. And the only way that's going to stop is if the people collectively say we've had enough. That's the only way it's going to stop. And the young people who are coming out, they're tired of all of us old fuddy-duddies, all this old stink money. It's old stinking money. People are tired of that. They're tired of all this. You know, these young folks don't want to hear all that crap no more. They've seen what their parents had to suffer through and what we are going through. They don't want to hear that crap no more. Get them old folks out of there who are not progressive enough to make sure that their lives are okay going forward. I mean, who keeps talking bad about their country? Who's doing that? It ain't the Harris Walls campaign. It's
Donald
this
Trump
other one
does
who
that
keeps saying our
constantly.
country sucks. It's no good. It's this, it's that. But yet you want to say you want these people. They want to say we're patriots.
And you know why?
USA, USA. You're a damn lie. Damn
And you know
liar.
why he says it. And you know what he means by that. This country sucks. You know exactly what he means. He means this country is getting too brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what he means. You know, it's just, and yet you will have some black people that vote for him, just like, exactly like you will. The same black people that are voting for Trump are, in fact, these people that support this man. Right? This man right here, they support. This is what's going on. Why don't they speak up about this? It bothers me so much. Where the black Republicans at when they hear this? What do they have to say about it? Where the black MAGA people at?
There are some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes. Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody after those fields were ended and slavery was ended.
Jackass.
Exactly. He don't have a problem with the generational wealth that keeps being handed down, hand over fist, hand over fist, hand over fist to these people whose families did that to our people, as he calls it. I mean, there's not a problem with that. Not a problem with them. What is it called when you bring your children into your company, or they can get into a school, because of who you are.
Apprenticeship.
Say again.
Apprenticeship.
No, but there's another term
No,
for it.
I
It's
had it on the
illegal to
tip of my
do.
tongue. It's when it's
nepotism,
no, it's
something like that.
called
I see what you mean. In the negative sense, nepotism. Yeah. I got you.
No, it's not nepotism. I know what she's talking about. That's what they were saying. It's it was right on the tip of my tongue and I lost
No,
it.
that's what Trump is doing. Trump is a nepotist. It's true. He has his family members around him.
But they don't have a problem when they do all of that. When they bring their people on, and they can go to the schools, they can go here, they can do whatever. Oh, but that's not a problem. But for some reason, when we want to say, okay, it's our turn to get back what, all of a sudden it becomes a problem. It's like, stop it.
Facts. Yeah.
What is it called?
This is the most sickening words I could ever hear someone say. It is sickening.
There are some people that were talking.
This is for the black MAGA people. Like, if you can't explain this, first of all, there is no explaining this. But why would you want to associate with any person, any party, any individual that would ever entertain this type of talk? This is clear betrayal.
About reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes.
Yeah, he's a pig.
Yeah,
I can't stand this guy. I can't stand him.
yeah, but they didn't have a.
And
I guess he didn't have a problem when that fool brought his kids on who were not qualified to even be running any part of the government. Didn't have a problem with any of that, you
no part
know.
of the government. They have no experience in anything.
Yeah, and
Only
the majority
experience
of the
they have.
cabinet, yeah, the people didn't have it either,
Exactly.
you know. But then he wants to sit back here trying to disparage Kamala's uh, intelligence and all this other kind of stuff, all the stuff she's accomplished. Oh, but there's a problem with that. You know, you know, them kind of guys like that, they lucky they
There's
don't
a
get punched in the
problem
throat by
with
people.
that.
Do you like having a
There's a problem with that. And check this out. He said some disparaging words about her just in the last 24 hours. Look, check this out.
We made.
Where's this dummy? Right here. Here's his word.
I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called JD and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale.
Why he just openly talks like that? Openly. You know, what type of person says everything that they think right out on the microphone? That is Donald Trump.
Yeah, a person who
That's who
has no
Donald Trump
filters.
is. And he has no filter, and he's an asshole. He
That
is.
too.
The party is. He will destroy any party. He would. Can you imagine? I mean, you have to be weird to entertain Donald Trump. But it's obvious he's had a lot of ass kissers over his life, right? People that kissed his ass for $1 or $2, right? And this is what that creates: a pure, unadulterated asshole. You know, it's
Yeah,
terrible. You're seeing the worst of the worst type of human being in Donald Trump, and these people would vote for him.
I
How?
saw I saw a clip where an older lady said she'd be willing to die for him uh, if the things don't go right. Yeah, she
Yeah.
said I'm old now, so me losing my life doesn't matter. I do it for. I'm like you're a freaking idiot. Yeah, I mean they're saying all kinds of stuff. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
That is insane. That is insane. But oh man, tell me more, Andrea. Is there more?
I mean all that stuff. You know that stuff is out there. It's just mind boggling to me. I'm like I said I don't. There are times I voted Republican when I felt they had a what they were standing for was fine. But
Yeah.
this right now is gone way beyond the pale. Where it's gonna whatever happens if they get in, they already have this stuff set up and ready to run if that man gets in.
Yes.
These people are not
Well, they
playing
think they
with
do.
how they want to destroy America.
Yeah, they planned
You know?
enough. They've planned
Yeah.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
enough to be taken serious,
Yeah.
basically. So yep. And well, I tell you what, I have no doubt that the government is going to take them seriously. Keep in mind, they have to do all of this. They have to do all this planning while Biden's the president. And Biden's an old man too. And he got the authority that was given to Trump. You see? And
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I guess it's in his hands. It's in Biden's hands. And they talked a lot of
That's
shit
why
about Biden. They talked a lot of shit about Biden. So
yeah.
I
And that's
say,
why
Biden,
it's that
do your job. Do
yeah.
your job, Biden. Do your job. Get rid
Yeah.
of the clear and present
Tear some
threat
shit up when you
to
last
America. Yeah, exactly. This your last chance to reign. Go for it. Clean house.
Yeah.
Do like Trump said he wanted
Yeah.
to do to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew,
Drain the
Biden would
swamp.
never do that. he wouldn't do that, but he Trump, yeah, you gotta clean that mess up. But anyway, yeah. So I thought this was a great speech by Kamala Harris. I thought she showed herself to have a lot of class, obviously professionalism, and she seems like what came off to me the most is that she seems like she cares, about everyday
Mm-hmm.
people. And I don't know how someone listening to her could miss that. You probably, for all the hateful things these people have said over one or two decisions, or one decision, all the hurtful things people have said about that, and just really trying to focus on her ethnicity. It's like, why don't you try doing what you want somebody to do to you, and that is listen to your words, judge you by your character. Don't forget that you still obligated to judge people by their character, and that's what you would want out of someone else too. You would want people to judge you by your character too, to be fair. you know so you can't want it one way. You got to give and get. So that's my advice to people that haven't given Kamala Harris a chance and are still so like caught in their blinders. They're thinking about Trump. Wake up out of the spell. It's not too late yet. You see what I mean? Wake up out of the spell. Pumpkin, you want to say anything? You there, Pumpkin? Okay, maybe Pumpkin is out. But in any case, y'all, I appreciate everybody for coming into the live. Next time, come on, hop up, feel free. You can always hop up and state your point of view as long as you do so respectfully. Challenge also people on the information. I would really like to hear some people that used to support Trump, but now just like, fuck that. I can't do that anymore. I would like to hear people say that. And hey, soon I really want to start getting your opinions about what do you think the U.S. policy should be on Israel. That's a topic I haven't really been wanting to take up because it's a real serious topic. But I decided I do want to take it up because I do have feelings about it, and I got a lot of friends that have feelings about it. And sometimes the views differ, but there's multiple views to all sides. So I would just say encourage people to think of it that way. But in any case, I'm out. Let me see. Yes, Andrea. Peace, yo. Peace, Donnie. Peace, Donnie. Yeah. Peace, Pumpkin. And anybody else that checked the live, peace to you also. I'll catch y'all. Oh, here's Bev. 1 second. Yo, Bev, you want to say something?
Well, I was listening, but I don't know. Kind of. I already know. I already know who I'm. I already know what I'm gonna do. Them people crazy.
All right, I got you. So you're gonna vote for Trump?
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah,
joking.
right. Okay.
You're
That's
voting
supposed
for
to be a
Kamala,
joke,
of
huh?
course. Yeah.
Yeah. You know good and well I ain't voting for
Okay.
you.
All right, Pumpkin.
You ended it?
Well, I catch you. Yeah, I'm about to cut off now. I catch you.
Oh,
All right. I appreciate everybody.
all right.
See y'all soon.
I'll be looking for another one.
Exactly. I'll be back.
All
Peace
right.
to everybody. One.
Bye.
Sweet Reese, I see your soul, baby. Do you see me? 'Cause I damn sure see you.